Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the General's Soapbox. Well, today we're going to be talking about a couple of things that are happening with councils up and down their good green land over the next month or so. But before we get started guys, I want to encourage you, if you want to hit that subscribe button for me, that would be absolutely brilliant. When you've hit the subscribe button, hit the bell at the side, because then that notifies you of when I put my videos up. And it would be great to have you on board, it really would. Okay, so let's move on. So today what we're going to talk about guys, we're going to be talking about something that has just recently come to my notice, and it's the eviction notices that the councils are now are beginning to put back in place. Now the entire procedure is not going to kick in fully until the end-ish of August. I think it's the 23rd or the 24th of August. And it is for people. I haven't had a look at the shelter website. I found out there was two reasons they could go for eviction proceedings, and one was non-payment of rent and two was antisocial behaviour. Now both of those things are actually fairly reasonable reasons, especially the second one, the antisocial behaviour one. But the first one I'm looking at and I'm thinking, you know, if you can't afford to pay your rent and there's no help available for you, then maybe a bit of leeway should be put in place, especially now. Guys, all the experts are saying we are actually heading towards the worst recession in over 300 years because of COVID, you know, and I think it's absolutely shocking that people who are having to worry about their health are now having to worry about the roof over their head. That brings me on to my second topic. The emergency homeless rehousing during the pandemic was absolutely phenomenally fast. Within a week, everybody was off the streets, everybody had their own place, everybody had their own rooms, and it was brilliant to see. Now, there's a couple of questions that come to mind for me. The first one is, how come it was able to be enacted so fast? When we've had a homeless situation in this country that has grown year on year on year, people have been left destitute, entire families having to stay on the streets. Now I know and I understand perfectly through speaking to the guys that are on the streets, there are certain of them who want to stay on the streets because that's where they see their home as. And if that's their choice, then that's absolutely their choice to make, and that's fair enough. I have also spoken to families who have lost their children because they've been made homeless. So my question is then, the emergency housing thing, you can go and check this out for yourself. My interpretation of it is that it's been there for years. Now I know that if it gets to the winter months and it goes below -19 or something like that, you can go to a police station and the police will get you in touch with the housing, and the housing have to provide you with a roof over your head until the temperature rises. I get that, but what I don't get is the amendments that were put through. Now this was put through from a government minister. He asked every one of the local authorities to make this a matter of urgency, which it was, which it still is. We are still in the grip of a pandemic, people. And yet now, I'm seeing more and more of the guys that I know to be on the street actually getting put back onto the street. And it's horrible. The second question I have then is this. If we could do that for them, for that time, to get them rehomed, rehoused, to get their roof over their heads, to make sure they were safe, to make sure they were protected, to make sure everything was put in place that they needed to get the help that they needed to get for the past 4 months, why can't we continue to do it? Why can't we continue to keep them in the places they're in, or find them new places? The bill has already been put in place. The legalities of it all are already put in place. And yet still more and more we're finding private landlords, because the government has stopped the money going to them. They're then saying to the people, well, we can't keep you here anymore. And I find that a damning reflection on British public society. You know, the fact that we have stopped all of this, and it is now at the point where men, women are being put back out in the street. They're losing their families are having to go into the care system because they are being put back on the street, because the government has stopped paying for them to be in social housing. Now I get the need to kickstart the economy, I absolutely understand that completely, and I get the need for there to be a degree of growth within the economy, but at what cost? People are still suffering. People are being made homeless. People are being put on the street as we speak through private landlords who have to make a return on their investment, and I absolutely understand that. But still, they're putting these people out. To me, it is just not fair. Why can't we carry this on? The furlough scheme has come to an end, but we are still in a very vulnerable position in this country. Why not keep looking after people? until it's completely over. I don't get it. And you know what? Instead of that, why not keep looking after the people that need the help the most, even when COVID's gone, even when we don't have a crisis? We had and still have an opportunity to change the way this society works, to change the values, the moral values of this society. And yet the people in political power in this country, they don't want to do that. They want to go back to making the money and making money and making money and making money and making money. Year on year, social care and welfare has had its budgets slam dunk reduced by consecutive Labour and Conservative governments, year on year, to the point where they can only function at a very basic level. And now we hear that our MPs have voted against there being any protection of the NHS when we go to trade negotiations with dictator for life Trump. When a society gets to the point of valuing profit over the people that the society involves, over it just astounds me. I was reminded very much of a quote that was either made by J. Humphrey, the Vice President of the United States in 1977, or Mahatma Gandhi. The surest measure of the strength of a civilized society is in how it treats its most vulnerable and weakest members. And there's the thing, because if we try to match that up against the way British society is going just now, we're absolutely screwed, guys. But there is still time to change. So get on your keyboards, get your pens, get your paper out, write letters, get to your MP, bring the pressure that only you can bring on to the people that actually make the decisions. Become more active. Tell them that this is not an acceptable way to treat anybody in this country. To land somebody, to take somebody from a situation where they were out on the streets and then move them into a place where they could actually get comfort and protection for a while and then put them back into that. That's not right. It can't be right. So please, get the emails going. Email your MP. Our local MP, Kat Smith, is a very, very responsive MP. I do have to say that. She really is. So if you're in the Lancaster, United Kingdom area, email her, mail her, phone her office, see what we can raise from this, see if we can get some questions asked. Because this can't be right. The people are suffering, and their suffering is being made worse because they're being evicted and put back out in the street. They're taking what little hope they had away from them because everything's going back to normal. And yes, I know there's problems with addiction. I know there's problems with antisocial behaviour. I absolutely get that. But surely having a very basic home, having a roof over your head, that's fundamental, surely, to building the foundations of a recovery. Not having that to worry about. Not having where am I going to sleep going on in your head. And think of the finances that would save other departments. Think of the pressure it would take off the police force. Guys, do you agree? Do you disagree? Comment below. Absolutely, I'm up for it. Like I've said in videos before, I'm up for being educated. If you can tell me something that I don't know, then absolutely brilliant. Please, please go for it. I welcome it. And guys, there's also the other thing as well. If you're fortunate enough to be in a position where you don't have these worries, can you please consider donating to your local food bank, to your local homeless charity? Because they need your help now more than ever, and they're going to continue to need your help. We have the Olive Branch here. We have Morecambe Bay Food Bank. Guys, the information's there. Just get in touch with them, see what they need, see what you can do for them, and it would be brilliant. It would be fantastic if you could do that for them. But if you're on the other side of that, folks, and you're looking at the possibility of being evicted, and you're looking down the barrel of a 2-month notice to quit, I believe it's called, then please speak to somebody now. Phone up the Citizens Advice people. I know that in Lancaster, I think it's the only day off they have is a Tuesday, but you've got to phone up and make an appointment. You have to speak to somebody, because the sooner you start talking to somebody and getting advice, the sooner they can begin to help you. And just because you've been served an eviction notice does not mean that eviction is going to take place. If you get the advice you need as early as possible, if you get the help that you need, Citizens Advice, Christians Against Poverty, that's another one. Guys, these people are so approachable. You pick up the phone, you get in touch with them. You could even go to Citizens Advice and ask them to phone cap for you and see if they can represent you, see if they can help you out. The help is there, guys, but you need to get it as soon as possible. I don't want to see any one of you, if you're in the situation of being served a notice to quit or an eviction notice, I don't want to see any of you in the street. So please, act now. Phone somebody now. And guys, if you're looking for contact details, I can certainly have it posted below. In fact, I'm going to put a link below for each of those ones. and it's just a matter of a quick click, and you'll get through, or at least you're making the first steps on your way to getting the aid that you need. So guys, yeah, that's it. That's my soapbox for today. I just felt very strongly that I really wanted to speak about this. I don't believe it's right that people are being served with eviction notices as of the end of the last week in August. I don't think it's right at all. I think we have a chance to change. I think we have overlooked that chance to change, but I do still think we have time to make those changes. We need to stop valuing profit margins over people's lives and welfare. And that's what the General Soapbox is all about today. Guys, if you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, and after you've done that, hit the subscribe button. And after you've done that, there should be a little bell coming up. Hit that bell, give it the ding ding. Why not? Let's do this. Because when you hit that bell, it'll let you know whenever I've posted another video. Guys, you've been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really appreciate you, and I'll see you the next time. You take care. God bless you.